Hello everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here in my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Today we're going to be working with leaves of holly, some beautiful stamp colors in our Stampin' pads. I have an evening evergreen, a soft succulent, a soft suede, a Sahara sand, a cherry cobbler, and a real red. And these colors are going to pair perfectly with our leaves of holly. So I've already gotten everything out. We're also going to be using from Oceanfront just this little dab of like a spray. So we're going to do that to fill in. Everybody loves the one sheet wonders, and this I believe was an original from Ruth, and she is a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. But I've seen a couple of other demonstrators that did this as well, and I don't know, you may have already seen it, but these never turn out the same. Whoever does these, they always have a different look and a different feel. So the first thing we want to do, instead of having to trim our paper after we do our stamping, I'm going to go ahead and trim it down first. And we're going to trim this down to 10.5 by 8. So I'm going to go to 10.5. We're just going to take that little 1/2 inch off. So let me silence my phone for a moment. There we go. Hopefully we won't hear any dings or anything, unless it's like it was at church last night and it was an Amber Alert that went out and everybody's cell phone went off in the church. It was kind of eerie because most everybody silence their phone when they go to church, and to have that thing go off like that, and our pastor said somebody's child's missing, and sure enough that's what it was. So I'm hoping and praying that this little one has been found. I have not heard yet. We're going to trim this down to 8, so it's going to be 10.5 by 8. And what that's going to do, it's going to give us the opportunity to cut this at 4, and our pieces will be 5 1/4, if that makes any sense at all. Hopefully it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our solid image. Now when you look at the stamp set, you have a large solid that has more solid in it, and it's going to look like this. It's going to be, you'll be able to tell when you pull them up that it's very little lines in it compared to the other one that has a lot more lines in it. So it's the one with the least amount of lines. So just load that onto a stamp block, and we're going to start off with our evening evergreen. So I am going to see if I can, I don't think it matters if y'all see the ink. I think seeing the paper is more important, and I wanted to keep this kind of zoomed in like this. So I'm just going to ink this up. Maybe I will bring my ink right here. You really want to press it into your ink to make sure you're getting a really good coverage like that. And then we're just going to do a circle kind of here in the middle of our paper. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm gonna, oh, that didn't work real good, did it? Let's see if we can get that back on there. I don't know why. I need to have my little impression mat underneath. Now we're gonna go with that. Let me get my little Stampin' Pierce mat. That does make a difference when you're stamping the photopolymer stamps. So I'm gonna ink up again. And I'm going to stamp about like this. Much better. I'm going to turn my paper because I want to go about here this time. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Basically, stamp your images. And even if they're not perfect, like this one is far from perfect, it's okay, because this is going to have a very fun look to it once you get everything stamped down. So let's put another one right here. And then we're going to do one more right there. So right about here. Okay, so now I've got the other one loaded onto a block. I'm going to take the time just to rub this one just a little bit to clean it, like that. Y'all know how I am about my stamps. Alright, so now this one we're going to do in soft succulent. So let's close up the Evening Evergreen and grab the soft succulent. And we're going to do the same thing, but these are two-step stamps. So we're going to try to stamp these over top of that one. So I'm going to see if I can turn the paper and try my best to stay in the line. Sometimes this can be easy. If you go out, don't fret. It'll be okay. It'll look like a shadow. So I'm going to try lining that up as best I can. Very good. So we're just going to do this all the way around. Like that. Of course I got my finger in my ink, so if that happens, try to get it cleaned off so you don't stick that on your paper, because it'd be very easy to do that. A little bit of ink on here. I'm going to clean that off. Okay, I'm going to tap that in the ink again, and then we're going to go right here. And it's amazing how the lighter ink really does give some depth to that darker ink. And I've heard a lot of people say that they thought that the Evening Evergreen was too dark, but it is a dark color. But look, when it lightens, it's not that dark. It's just a really pretty sort of a hunter green. I think it's a very pretty color, and when you pair it with a lighter green, it is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to keep stamping. I think we've gone all the way around. Yeah, we have. So I'm done with that. Now we need to come in with our Sahara Sand. I know that sounds crazy, but believe me, this works. So I'm going to clean that one off just a little bit. And I'm using my Stampin' Scrub to clean with. This is a great tool to have. You can reactivate your cleaner with just a spritz of water. You have a wet side and a dry side. So you can wash your stamps on this side and dry it on there. Love this thing. It's called the Stampin' Scrub. I'll have the number listed. So if you're interested in getting one of those, they are wonderful. Alright, so this one we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab that solid, smaller leaf. And I'm going to ink it up. And then we're going to come in between. Stamp it. And this color has almost a little bit of a green tint to it, the Sahara Sand. All I'm doing is stamping in between these other leaves. And we'll do one more right about here. Okay. Now we'll close this one and we'll grab that soft suede. We're going to come in with the detailed one, and we're going to stamp over top of these just like we did the larger leaf. So try lining it up, and again, like I said, it does not have to be perfect. If it's off a little bit, it looks like a shadow. And see how quickly this is coming together? So now we've got just a couple more things to do. And I am going to go ahead and scrub off these two stamps real quick. Amazing how good it cleans. Look at that. Love my Stampin' Scrub. Alright. So now we're ready to do our solid image of our berries. So you want to grab that solid image and your real red, and we're going to just put down some berries. This brings everything to life. I think that's good for our berries. I'm going to clean this, but just a little bit, because I'm going to want to clean both of these when I finish. Here's our detailed one, and this is where our cherry cobbler is going to come in. And again, you want to try to stamp right over top, and see how that gives that beautiful little shadow look. Just kind of highlights the berries, and I love that. Again, you do not have to be perfect. Just stamp amongst it. It gives it a very artsy feel when you just, randomly do something like this. So don't be afraid to pull out a piece of paper and try your different stamp sets with this, and just work in a circle, and you'll be surprised how beautiful. I think this is our last one. You'll be surprised how beautiful it can turn out. Just a one page, and when you finish, you're going to have enough of card bases to do 4 different cards. So this is a great way to knock out your Christmas cards in a hurry. And if you wanted to do, you could do 3 or 4 sheets of this at one time. Stamp all the one color, move it over, do the next one, and so forth. So you could have like a projection line. Now I'm opening up both my Sahara Sand and my soft suede. So I've got both of these open. I'll go ahead and clean these 2 stamps real quick. Now, whenever you use cherry cobbler or real red, it's high pigment. It's got a very high pigmentation. So even though it's clean, it is stained. Not a big deal. What do we say about a stained stamp? It's a love stamp. And the same with the real red. Not as bad as the cherry cobbler, but it's still a little bit on the red side. Okay, so now I've got that little spray stamp, and this is where we're going to come in. I'm going to start off with my Sahara Sand. This is the very light one. And I'm just going to come in and put just a little detail, very subtle. remember, just, you know, try to rotate your paper as you're doing this. Let's put one right there. Okay, maybe one right here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the soft suede. I'm not going to clean my my stamp because it's a lighter going into a darker. So I'm going to go here and here, here and here, maybe here and there. And there and here, and that's maybe one more. How about right here? That's all we're going to do. Now you can do as much of that or as less, less. You can do as much or as more, you know, or less as you would like. It doesn't matter. So now let's go ahead and move our Stampin' Pierce mat. My ink's out of my way. And we are going to proceed to cut this down. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And we're going to cut it this way first at 4. And then we're going to bring it this way and cut it at 5 1/4. Now let me show you how pretty this is going to be. You could put it on a base of soft succulent like that. You could do this landscape or portrait. That's really pretty like that. And then we have this one. How pretty would this be on cherry cobbler? I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and make some cards. I like this one on the evening evergreen. And then we could always do, oops, you know what I'm doing? I think I'm grabbing, no, that's good. 2, 3. How did I end up with more than, I think I might have grabbed one that I had already done because I had done one earlier just to see, and I had stamped a lot further down than I liked. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use it because we've got enough to do 5 cards. Let's see. Soft succulent. And what about Sahara sand? Let's see if I have a Sahara sand card base. If I don't, we can grab a piece of cardstock. Yep, I think I do. No, that's not it. That is Sahara sand. I think I like it better on the darker color, so let's try a real red. Oh yeah, I love it on the red. But then I love red, so that explains it, right? So look how quick and easy. So all we have to do now is get a really pretty, either a label, or if you want to, you could just stamp a Merry Christmas right on here. So let me find a really pretty Merry Christmas. Let me check my stamp sets. We could use the one out of this one, but I want something that's a little more flowing. So let me check my stamp sets and get a really pretty Merry Christmas, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found 2 stamp sets, Merriest Moments and Hope and Peace, that has beautiful Christmas sentiments. This one, Hope and Peace, has ones that you can use on the outside, like The weary world rejoices, and then you have this one that you could put on the inside. May no in Christ bring you peace for today, hope for tomorrow, and joy for every season. You got tidings of comfort and joy, the Merry Christmas right there. I like that joyful Christmas to you and yours, and then maybe use one of these inside. So that's what I'm going to do. A joyful Christmas to you and yours. And I think it would be so pretty stamped right about here. And I think what I'm going to do, whatever color base I'm going to use is the color I'm going to stamp this in. So for this one, I'm going to use real red. So I'm going to bring my ink pads back over. Get my Stampin' Pierce mat back over here. Got a stamp block. That stamp block looks really, really dirty. It's amazing how dirty the stamp blocks get. I really need to take them to the sink and give them a good wash. But I wipe them off with my alcohol wipes, and that usually cleans them pretty well. Well, that didn't even pick up. You know why? My stamp has been used and used and used. So I'm just going to wipe that off. And it is okay to wipe your, not your cling stamps, but your photopolymer. You can bring the sticky back to those simply by wiping them with that alcohol wipe. So, or you can take them to the sink and wash them with soapy water and let them air dry. Alright, I'm going to stamp that in my real red. And I'm going to line it up right here at the bottom. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting that nice and even. Just like that. Ah, isn't that gorgeous? Now all we would need to do is put some rhinestones on this, and we have a card. Let's go ahead and get all of our stamping done. I might stamp all of these in real red. I like that one like this. This one I'm going to stamp up here. I'm going to lay the mats over to the side until I get these all stamped. Now for some reason I really want this one with the Evening Evergreen. But this one I'm going to do, okay, let's lay that one over there. This one I want with the real red. And this one I'm going to come down on this side. And we have this one. This one I'm going to put right along here, hoping I'm getting it straight. And I'm going to clean my stamp. And I want to get my Evening Evergreen. And bring this one over. Let's close up this real red before I put my arm or my hand in it. Look, and I already got it on my finger. It's okay. It's all right. And I think this one's going to go right here. So pretty. Love that, love it. Okay, so these cards are ready now for us to put together on our bases. So let me go cut some card bases and some mats, and I'll come back. We'll embellish them and mount them and stamp our inside, and then I'll have 5 beautiful Christmas cards that anyone would love to receive this holiday season. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and I have gotten my mats for my cards along with my card base, and I chose the Very Vanilla, the same color that I stamped on. And what I'm going to do is I cut mats that will coordinate with each one, and yet I think I have more real red than I do anything else because I just loved it so much. But I have a soft succulent, I have an evening evergreen, I have a cherry cobbler, and I have 2 real reds. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to go ahead and put these together. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue, and I am going to proceed to glue. And since I use the heavy, I feel very confident in using my liquid glue on these. So I am going to put this one down like that. Smooth these over so I can get up here in frame. Make sure everybody can see what I'm doing. Now I have a little speck right there, and I don't know if that's in the paper itself or if it's a, let me get my mono sand eraser and see if that will come off. If it doesn't, we'll cover it with a gem. That looks better. It still can see it, but it's not as bad as it was. Alright, so this one's ready to mount to our card base. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set this down where I've got that nice little even border all the way around. Give it a good press. And that one's ready. And we're going to continue to go ahead and put all of these together just like that. Now this one was cut just a tiny bit shorter. This was one of the ones I had done ahead of time, and my paper was not cut right, so it caused the cards to be a little shorter, so I compensated with my mat. And you can see that I have more of a border around the card base here than I do the other ones. You see the difference? A little bit more here and here. Still works, still a beautiful card. last card. Now we have these all done. We're ready to decorate. So I have pulled out my real red rhinestones and pull these out. I get my Take Your Pick tool, my favorite tool for putting on my gems. And I'm using the putty end. And let's just drop a couple of jewels here and there. That one is done. Isn't that pretty? Just putting a few, like 3 gems on these cards really does bring them to life. So let's put one right here. One up here. And let's put one right there. So pretty. Same with this one. There. One right there. And how about one right here? Gorgeous. Now this one looks a little bit kind of, it needs something in here. I might come back and maybe do another holly berry. Maybe a small leaf, I'm not sure. This one just looks like it needs something. So I'm going to put one there. One right here. And maybe one there. I think what I want to do is maybe I would advise you not to do this because I stacked them on top of each other and now they don't want to come apart. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these apart and try to stand them separate. If you don't have room on your desk, you can always stand them like that, and that's what I should have done. I might stamp, I don't know, I'm going to try just a few little dabs of this color and see if that will fill it in enough. And this is the Sahara sand. So I'm going to put one there, one here, one here. And that fills that in where it looks a lot better. It doesn't look quite so naked. So when you do your cards, you can go back, and if you see that you need to add something, just go ahead and add it right then. All right, another rhinestone right here. There. And then maybe one more. How about right here? And those are our cards. And how simple was that, and how much fun was that? So we have a nice little set of cards. And I'm thinking these are pretty enough that I may put those into my craft show. They are gorgeous. So we were talking about stamping something on the inside. I think I'm going to go through and I'm going to stamp all of them with may knowing Christ bring you peace for today, hope for tomorrow, and joy in every season. I think that is so pretty, and it really speaks to my soul. So I'll do that, but I won't do it on camera. I'll go off and get everything stamped. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that this was an inspiration. Pull out some of your stamps and try doing a collage like that, and then cut it up and make some beautiful cards. And remember, you can do this with any stamp set you have. So, but if you are interested in the leaves of holly, and they do come with dies as well. And I didn't put the dies on the back of this, but I know they come with a set of dies. I believe they're called holly. I'm going to pull those dies because I really want to show them to you. Yeah, holly berry dies, and it's a beautiful, this one right here is gorgeous, and it's just a beautiful set. You can also cut these out of green paper and glue them on. So the stamp set is definitely, you have your cherries where you can cut them out of your solid cardstock and then do an overlay. And I have used that and done it, so if you've watched my videos, you probably saw me work with that. But this is a beautiful way to do it with your stamps, and I thought they turned out wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you drew inspiration from watching me create these cards with the One Sheet Wonder. God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.